I love his commercial with the young Charles. It is so funny. How many championships I'm gonna have? Don't worry. Don't tell me. I'll wait. He's like, you're gonna be waiting.
You're gonna be
Because he
waiting.
never won anything. So freaking funny.
What's up, everybody?
My name is Anthony Irvin.
You beat yourself?
Yeah, CB myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Jim Green.
Don't even need to hit a traffic light.
Okay, good.
Welcome to
One Set.
Right.
So, how are you?
All right. Yesterday's work was pretty busy. We're still going through these clinical trials. We still have a couple years left to go through these clinical trials, but like I'm doing like the base of a lot of the work, and then my work assistant, she is doing a lot of like work on the digital end, like doing a lot of write-ups and everything. Plus, she's in school for her doctorate, so she's doing the doctorate while, doing clinical trials. So, it makes the days go quicker. So I can't really complain on that front, because in the morning I'm like reviewing and analyzing all the data from the day before, so that in the afternoon I take new samples, get them thrown in, and then if I have to do other work in the other lab, then I do that. And then so it's like, it's like the day's like strategically planned out to the point where if I take too much time away from it, I don't get out at 5 o'clock. So sometimes it's like, but then it was even harder, on Friday and Monday, because I was still trying to like look at comments and doing the stuff when my song was released. I'm looking at my phone constantly, checking for comments, checking how the streams are coming in and data and everything. And then I'm like, well, I still got to work, so try to put down my phone for a couple minutes here and there to like get things done. But then I would just be constantly like, all right, look at my phone again, look at my phone, look at this. So
Sure.
It was but I mean, in the small part, I mean, I've gotten so much like good feedback from everybody. I mean, about the song. It's been really humbling, because this is like the first time I haven't heard like any like bad negativity about a song that I've really put out. I've had parts where it's like, oh well, the vocals seem like they're like all auto-tune and like, or oh, this is just crap music, or blah, blah, like, and a lot of it can be like trolls and stuff, because I'm running Facebook ads too, so it's like you get so many like trolls that are coming through that see ads and stuff that are like from different countries, and they're like, they'll just troll the out of your ads and everything sometimes. But I got put up on 3 different blogs internationally, and I use this website called Submit Hub. If any musician or any music person out there is watching this, you know what Submit Hub is. I mean, and the love-hate relationship we have with Submit Hub, because it's basically a community of curators that either have blogs, they have Spotify playlists, they like can come from like radio and everything, and you basically pitch your song out there, and they give you feedback on the song, and if they like it enough, they'll put a blog post about it. They'll put you on one of their Spotify playlists, and 9 times out of 10, they even say like on the website, like, this is very, there a lot of curators on this site are very critical. So if you get negative feedback, or if you're not getting approved very often, it's okay. It happens. Like, the approval rate on a lot of these things are like below 20% sometimes.
It's almost like applying to a job and your application or your resume just sits for
right
months on end. And it's just kind of like, instead of feeling like, oh, they must not want to hire me, or they think I'm not like the proper candidate, it's like, no. It's just, it takes time sometimes, right? Like, and you just gotta
Exactly.
sit and be
So,
patient. Yep.
yeah, and it it gets you in this depressive state where it like once you start hearing a lot of negative things about something, your mind starts tricking you, being like, is this song really that bad? Like, is it not good? Like, because when I was first listening to it, I thought this was great, but when I was putting this song out in that website this time, I've gotten nothing but good feedback from it. And if there was a negative comment would be like, it's good, but it's just not my taste. Like, that's like the most negative thing I probably get. And I would even think that's not necessarily a negative. I would think that's more of a positive thing for like, it's good, but just not my personal taste in music for either the blog that I run or the playlist, but it's good for the genre that you do. So, I mean, I was very, happy with even before the release of the song, that the feedback I was getting about the song. So, I think I have a good song here, and I'm going to continue to push it out the rest of this month, and I'm going to, try to call up my buddy, down over, well, he used to work at WSTW, but he just moved to another Delaware radio station. Shout out to Hometown Heroes. I'm going to call him up and see if I can get him to, put my song in some rotations one Sunday night. And, now I have like a little merch line that I put out this week too, and I did a little giveaway, and I showed you that. So another thing that I can kind of promote outside of the single that's associated with it, but I'm not necessarily spamming the single. It's more now like, I'm doing the merch around the single. So, you know, so trying to find different things to like keep the momentum going instead of just saying, watch the single, listen to the single, do the single, like something to like kind of take the action off of it, but still focus on it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, the Machine movie, which you and I are talking about going and seeing.
Yes.
And Bert is very much just like trying to push everyone to go see. And he's like, this is something that you need to see in the theater. And I'm like,
and
you and I talked about this before it even came out. I was like, maybe we'll just wait until like a watch along, and like we'll watch it from home. And then now, like, it has done so well. Rotten Tomatoes has like graded it, I think 93%, something like that.
I was gonna say like a 92 or a 93, and
Yeah.
they're pretty accurate with their ratings. So I was like, damn. I'm like, okay. I wasn't expecting to be that high. I mean, so if it's that high, I'm like, okay, this is no joke then.
Yeah. I mean, jokes, because comedy, right?
No
comedy. Jesus. Okay.
Okay, cut.
No, but really, like, shout out to our friend Amber in Spain, who reached out to both you and I and was like, hey, Anthony's video is actually super good. And she was like, I didn't know that he was like a one-man band and did everything on his. And I was like, he can do it all. Like, and that was like a moment for me where like I read that back and I thought to myself, like, dude, you are the man. Seriously, just because you put your mind to something. Stop. You put your mind to something and you made it happen.
Nah, man. Like I said, I mentioned the name last week. I think when we were talking about the music video of the guy that inspired me to do it, and I had the name right. It was Alex Melton. I'll link his YouTube channel in the description here. Very talented dude. He does pretty much like how the music video that I did. Like he'll sing, play guitar, play bass, drums, and he does like cover songs, or he'll do interpretations of songs and make them into and like switch the genre. Like he'll do like Third Eye Blind semi chime life, but he'll make it like into like a Blink one.
Semi-charm kind of life. Yeah. That one.
Yeah, like he'll do like
Gotcha.
that one, but he'll make it in the style of like Blink 182 or something. Kind of flip the genre on it, and very talented dude. So, if you guys liked the music video that I put out, and you want to see the inspiration behind what I was trying to emulate or at least do myself, I wasn't trying to copyright or copy paste what he was doing, because he's like an OG at doing that. But the inspiration behind how I got that idea of what I wanted to do, check out Alex Melton's YouTube channel. And again, if you guys haven't checked out the music video, I'll have the link in the description too. Thank you all for, listening and watching over the weekend. Again, I'm going to be promoting the hell out of it for the next month or so, and, just trying to find different ways to get it out there.
Tell us about your show on Friday.
Yeah, I went to a local open mic. The Delco Quarantine open mic had just found a new home for their in-person open mic. We talked about the Delco Quarantine open mic many times on this podcast. They started out in the pandemic, where a lot of musicians were just going on live, and we were just doing a virtual open mic. And I think last year around this time, we did our first, in August of last year, I participated in the first Delco Quarantine Open Mic Festival, which I just got word, and I mean, it's not like any type of a secret, but because I have no details about it, but I heard that we're going to be doing another one. So I'm looking forward to hopefully, participating in the second annual festival this year. I don't have any details yet to really go about that, but it seems like it's going to be happening. And but the show in general, I went out there. I think I was up there for maybe 15, 20 minutes. I played Here and Now, played a couple originals, and then I played a cover. It was an awesome time. It's the vibes and the people there are always awesome to hang out with and just, talk music. Everybody supports everybody, and it's a community that I want to continue to be around, because,
and
I don't think we've had that type of like supportive community in a while.
Where is this again?
It's at the Red Lantern Tavern in like Folsom area. It's actually not too far from Marty McGee's.
That's like Glen Olden area, right?
Glen Olden, Folsom. Yeah, it's right off the McDade Boulevard.
Okay. I have not been there before. I've been to Marty McGee's before, and I've been to Tumble Inn.
Yeah.
But I haven't been to, what's it called? Red Lantern?
Red Lantern. Yeah, Red Lantern Tavern. Yeah. And they have an outside portion, and, we were, kind of contemplating whether it was going to be outside, because it was supposed to rain, but we got lucky and there was no rain, so they ended up having it outside. So it was cool to kind of be out there and playing outside. I haven't played outside in forever. So it was different, because the first time, back in April, April-ish, they were inside, and they have like a little like tiki bar inside. So we were playing in there, and it was kind of really compact, so it was better to have it outside on their outside little deck area, because you have a lot more room, and interactions are a lot easier. I felt if the amount of people that came out last night, they came out to the last one, it'd have been so loud in there that you wouldn't be able to hear the music.
It's weird. Air to breathe, like when you were just playing outside. And I'm not a musician, like where but I can just imagine like you playing outside and being like, rather than feeling like cooped up indoors, like in an interior setting kind of thing. And I know a lot of the times you're like kind of tucked in a corner. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the corner guy. Yeah, tucked away in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner except me.
You can put me in a corner, baby.
Yeah, oh god. Oh Jesus.
Oh Jesus.
But no, it was cool to play outside, but the lights were so bright, and like I was sweating to death up there, you know. But other than that, it was cool. I mean, everybody dig the set, and you know, I did the live looping stuff, and you know, everybody like, and I think that always what sets me apart from a lot of the people when I'm playing out there, because you know, I'll come up with the pedal board and be like, you know, oh, this guy's like going up there with a guitar and pedals, like what is he about to do, blah blah blah. And then I just start hitting the live looping and everything, and like, oh okay, this is pretty cool. And then so I played my song Tonight. I opened up with Tonight, and that's more of like a upbeat dancey type of feel. So like once I start hitting that guitar riff, then I hit the, you know, the little drum beat in there and bass, then you know, then you start seeing a couple people start like really grooving to it. So I'm like, all right, cool, I'm in the groove. So then, you know, people really start locking into you to it when, you know, you get the whole thing coming in. So it was cool.
And that's how you like identify as like, this is what makes me me, and like the individuality, right?
Yeah.
I'm standing there tonight in the auditorium watching like my couple of routines like tech rehearse, and the one teacher that I was like chatting with, she turned to me and
you had
was like,
recitals this past week, and let's talk about that.
Sure. So I'm talking about like recitals that are coming up. Well, once this is published, it'll be like tonight and tomorrow kind of thing. But I was chatting with one teacher who I haven't seen probably since last year recital, but her and I were just like chit chatting, and then like my one routine went on stage, and I was just standing there like arms folded, because I was like, I don't want to like acknowledge me. I don't want to. Yeah. I didn't want to be like, oh, this is mine right here, right now.
Yeah.
Like I just folded my arms, and she turned and looked, and she was like, this is yours, isn't it? I was like, yeah, this is one of mine. She was like, I can tell. And I was like, that's what I want. I want people to just be able to recognize like, oh, this is Jim Green's content right here. That is,
I think I told you that too. Like I could tell like when it was one of your pieces, like just by the way, like I know how you dance. Like when I used to go to a lot of your recitals, I'm like, I think Jim did this one, because it seemed like some of the moves and mannerisms that the people were doing, I'm like, that's something that Jim would do. So I'm like, this has to be like one of Jim's routines.
This is why I am so jealous of your wife, because I wish we could be married, because you understand me, right?
Hey, I mean, spoiler alert, I proposed to you once, so I mean, you had your chance, baby.
Okay, folks, you heard it here first. My pronouns are I like Anthony.
He's mine. Yeah. My pronouns are he's mine. Like
he's mine. Oh yes, please.
Yeah, please. Please. Oh man.
Seriously though, wow, backtrack, dial it in. Take a deep breath.
Recital.
Recital. No, but um, I think it's really rewarding when people can say, I can tell that was you did that. That's when I'm like, okay, my work is unique in its own right. And that's where I'm like,
Yes.
that's where I want to be, you know? Um,
Uh-huh.
so
Mm-hmm.
even just standing next to a teacher that I haven't seen in quite some time, and like for them to turn to me and say, I think this is yours. Like, this looks very much like you. I was like, yeah, it's me. She was like, yeah, I could tell. I was like, that's almost like more important to me. It's more of a self-fulfilling prophecy to me.
Right.
Um, compared to like the kids being on stage and like, wow, that sounds so selfish. But the kids on stage feeling good about what they're doing, obviously that is like the top priority. But when you hear from other people like, yeah, I knew what your work was, I was like, cool. But and that's for the recital that is happening this weekend. Last weekend, um wow, welcome to One Set. You heard it here first. um my one routine that I got to like actually sit out front and watch it. Because most of the time, if you're, a working teacher for a studio and the studio's like, hey, all hands on deck kind of thing, they want your help backstage, like with helping with the production
Uh-huh.
end of it. And
Yeah.
this particular studio wanted me to sit out front with the kids that were in the second half, um, because parents show up with their kids and they're like, oh, my kid's not until like, if there's 30 routines in a show and they're number 29 kind of thing, it's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
what are they going to do? Just sit backstage the entire time? I was designated as like the teacher to be like, hey, no, you can hang with me. And I had one student who is super quiet, like super reserved, like keeps to himself kind of thing. And I was like, all right, buddy, like we're going to hang out. And so I got to watch the first half from the audience, which is like super cool. I got to film my older kids, and it was probably one of my best works of the year kind of thing. So I was like super excited for that. Um,
Nice.
and then this coming weekend, um, yeah, I mean it. Like my routines this weekend, down in Delaware, like they'll do well. They'll be really, really good, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But just being able to see that one piece from the front and record it and watch it back, I'm like, it's one of those things where like you feel, it's the one of those moments where you feel proud of yourself, right? And you're like, yeah, wow,
Yep.
I did that. And
Yep.
that
It's like the
that
same
felt
thing, like reviewing back my song and everything, like you're doing little niches and producing things here and there until you see the big picture and you step back and you're like, wow, like this is just how I want it, or even bigger than what I could have imagined. And like I said, I've always said on your spectrum that you have this vision in your head and you're taking weeks, months to really build it out with everybody, teaching them the whole choreography portion and everything. And then, it comes the big time to put it up on the stage. And then when you see it on the stage the first time, you're like, wow, that's awesome. You know?
Yeah, it's like when you dropped your song and when you like watched your video back, you're like, yeah, I
Whoopsie.
did that, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just one of those moments where it's like you take yourself back and you're like, did that really just happen right there? And you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
I did that kind of thing. And then you're so proud of yourself. Um and not even in a cocky way. It we get to the point where like we want to watch it back again or we want to listen back again. And it's like you don't want to be too proud of yourself, but you're also like, I made this happen. And then
Mm-hmm.
you just get so excited and happy for something that you created and you made that happen, right? Um
Right.
and like, with your
It's an
single,
awesome feeling. You know?
yeah, with your single that dropped, and I have a handful of routines that I've witnessed on stage where I stood there and I was just like, "Oh my god, I did this?" And like I would just like feel paralyzed, like just
Yeah.
lost. So, you feeling the way that you do about your song and your release and when you feel emotional about hearing it back again, um I I get that. I definitely I definitely get that. And I can't um I can't appreciate it on the level of like what you do because I don't do the same thing, but um
Well,
I
we
think
don't
it's
do the
so
same
cool.
thing, but we have the same. We're on the same level of being creatives. I feel like, but we do it from two different levels. So I think we're the
Well,
same, but we're different. You know?
it's just a level of dedication and when you pull the trigger on doing something,
Yeah.
I mean and I can speak, I think, because you've been doing covers for so long. So when you do something that is independent and is individual and it's unique to you, it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be way different. And I've always like I supported you in going with like the like the cover route, and I was like, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like take your passion, and if it's gonna go make you a little money over here doing jobs left and right. But when I hear that
Mm-hmm.
you're creating your own thing and you're like, yeah, I spent a year on like creating this, I'm like, oof, that is so awe-inspiring to me. Like I can't I can't wait to actually bring myself to the point of like, because I teach all the time and I'm like just generating content for the kids. I haven't choreographed like
Mm-hmm.
something for myself and said, "Hey, I'm in this element in this moment right now." I like, and I think once I bring myself to do that, um, I'm probably gonna be almost excited as you were with releasing Here and Now kind of thing. Because I have like ideas, but it's just bringing them into fruition and like just pulling the trigger kind
Yeah.
of thing, you know? So,
Yep. And I feel like that's like now my thing because I put out a single. Now it's like time to like restart the process because I'm like, all right, now I'm already thinking about the next song that I want to do. I already have like three or four that I am working on that are already kind of like in the production process of like some parts are recorded, some parts aren't, and some that I'm like, well, this would be a good follow up, but this might hit pretty well too. Should I go with something, you know, the same upbeat, or should I slow it down and bring some more emotional in? And I know which one I'm probably talking about. I was thinking about that one too. There's a couple, and I'm like,
I'm just over here jonesing right now because I'm like, oh, because I know exactly what you're talking about, and
yeah,
the
and I
audience
listened to it
doesn't
back.
know, but
Yeah, and I listened back to it like a week or two ago because I was still transferring all my old stuff from my old hard drive over to my new one, and I was listening to a couple of them. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be awesome once I really get into that one. But then there's like some newer song, like new stuff, because the stuff that I put out is old songs refurbished and revisited. But I also have 2 or 3 hidden songs that one that's fully structured out, it just needs lyrics and maybe a couple re-recordings on a couple things, but I have one full song without lyrics and one that's like half of a song. I just have to continue it. So I'm like, do I finish one of those newer songs, or do I go back and do another revision song? Because I mean, obviously I'm going to put this all into an album eventually. So it's like, where do I go to next? And so I think I'm going to give myself another month or two to really figure out where my head's going to be for the next one, and then hopefully get one out either before the end of the year or the beginning of next year. And so that's looking like that's the off the dome here. That's like the plan, is to take this month to really push this single, keep it going, and then while that's going, brainstorm the next one, start getting that, and then like how you were saying, like there's so much time. There's so many things, not much time during the day, because like you're always teaching, I'm working, so it's like, and being a husband, being a father, trying to find that time to be like, to really like, okay, this is time to like, okay, spend about a couple hours to like record something one night, and then because the recording process is like something I have to plan out to do. Once the recording process is done, I can mix whenever and wherever, because I just bring my laptop and mix anything. So the recording process is usually the one where it takes a little bit more time to be like, okay, I gotta plan out like times where either I have a day to myself, or nights where I have like nothing really to do, and I can plan out like an hour or two of recording.
Well, and this is where like you and I are super different, right? Because 1, not married. 2, I don't have a son like you do, and like you're
that you know of. Hi,
I'm dad. All right.
But no, okay. So here's what we're gonna do. So the goal for me is to try to put out another single, hopefully by the end of the year, beginning in the Q1 of next year. I want us both to be on that. I want us to try to both be on that goal. You can, if it's on your terms.
Let's do the accountability buddy thing, right? Where it's like, geez, I have wanted to post like a thing of me dancing like for years, but I'm also just very like,
I've been telling you that for years. Like, you need to put something out, dude. Like, these people need to see.
So
these people need to see it.
And like my nephew, my second cousin, rather, I was down here with him and he was teaching me choreography that he came up with, and I was telling him all of the things that I wanted to do, and he was like, dude, why aren't you publishing this content? And I'm like,
Yeah.
It's just stuck up here, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. He's like, dude, come on. He was basically like,
Yeah.
do it, like, get it done. And I was just
Right.
like,
Just
whew.
do it. Shia LaBeouf, just do it. Do it.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it. Kind of.
For real.
Dude.
But yeah, so yeah, accountability buddies. We've been accountability buddies for the last couple of months with, a weight loss challenge that once again has kind of fell off. But I mean, for the most part. But now we're being accountability buddies for,
Content
me putting out our
production.
next
content
production, on me putting out another single and you putting out, if not a piece of content or one big piece of content, of a dance routine for you.
Okay.
By the end of the year. I'm saying it with a by the end of the year.
I'm looking right now and I'm like, okay, it's because right now it's 11:41 p.m. Tuesday, June 6th. I'm like, 6 months from now would be December, and I'm like, if I can't get something done in 6 months' time, I'm really just a lazy piece of crap, right? So it's like, all right, I can make that happen, and I have more than one reason to like really zero in on like being a better version of me, and I want to dance. Jeez, I wasn't going to talk about it, but like my aunt just passed away. She was diabetic, and like her foot was amputated, I think 10 years ago, kind of thing. So for me to feel mildly good within my own skin and my body, it's like, why am I taking advantage of this time and not utilizing myself for what I love to do so much, right? And I told you before we got on, I was like, I want to share this one thing with you. Did you get the link?
I
shoot,
don't think so yet. No, I didn't get a link. But
All
as
right.
You're sending me the link, I was just
Yep.
Just about to ask you, and I was just thinking before we started recording this tonight, that this is episode 75. There's 25 more episodes till we hit episode 100.
Yep.
And I'm going to let you use your math brain. How many weeks do we have until episode 100?
So, we started episode 1 was like January, and this is so off air.
Yeah.
I told you how one of my students was like, "Oh, a friend of mine sent me this picture of you with like the Mickey Mouse ears," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like I actually forgot that we've been doing this for a year and a half at this point. So, episode 100 I think should land just before New Year's. So we miss.
So
go ahead.
So that was and that's what I was thinking. And we were thinking end of the year for me putting out another single, you putting out that big piece of content. So how about we possibly make a thing here? Episode 100, you and me I release my single, you release your dance routine.
So it's the drop on episode 100. Okay. So episode 90 is...
Can we do it?
Up to you, man. I mean, episode...
I mean, what? We're releasing every week, so there's 25 episodes till 100, so there's 25 weeks. That's the correct math, right?
So I have in my calendar September 22nd should be one set episode 90. So we should get
Okay.
Once at episode 100 looks like December 1st. It's in my calendar. It's already here.
Okay.
So that's the thing. We can do it. And that's actually 6 months. So challenge accepted.
And I think that's doable for me for a song. I think that's definitely doable for me for a song. So air shake. Let's make this work. Okay. You've heard it first, people. We're already linking up to episode 100 being a pretty big thing for us. For any type of podcast, I think once you hit 100, you've made it pretty big. So we're going to do some big things for 100. So this is the first thing that we're putting the nail on. That when you guys listen to episode 100, you will be seeing a new single from me and one, if not a multiple of one of Jim's dance choreography creations. I'm stoked to see what you come up with, man.
Me too.
And if we can within that time, we should try to shoot, again, we should try to shoot music videos for both of them. Like you shoot your choreograph, we'll get Gil to shoot yours and he'll shoot mine. We can sit down and do the whole thing. So yeah, I think we can make this a big ordeal for both of us. That would be cool.
Absolutely. And for our fans, and we're not a big podcast right now currently, and we're talking June 2023. So if you're listening like years and years down the line, we're small right now, but we love and appreciate everyone that's tuned in and has supported us. Look, I thought that you and I were just going to do this where it was like we're basically just doing like a Zoom call and just like goofing off with each other. And like so for people to tune in and just listen to us just chat about what we love, our passions, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you so much. Seriously.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Do you want to see this thing? I want to share this with you so that like we can break it down, we can talk about it, but so me being an acro and a hip hop teacher, I don't think that people would see this and think, oh, this is his style, this is what he gravitates to. But it is very much like I watched this and it's like one of my favorite things that I've ever seen. Ever. Right? Do you have the link or no?
I just had it pulled up and I have the sound on. So yeah, I'm ready when you are.
We should probably, I think it's fair, and it's literally, I think it's so important that our fam, the One Set fam, our followers, understand, hey, Anthony, you're not going to get fired for this, right? But
I'll let you know Friday mornings.
We'll literally watch stuff throughout the week and it like we'll just time it out. And I've told like family and friends of mine, they're like, you watch the podcast with Anthony when? And I'm like, when he's at work. And they're like, how do you do that? I was like, we literally count down 3, 2, 1 and FG, right? Which is go, right?
Whoopsie. Go away.
So, y'all heard it here first. We're gonna count down. Anth, are you ready?
I'm ready, brother.
3, 2, 1.
Whoopsie.
Can go.
When it's my time.
Oh yeah. I think you showed this to me. Awesome.
For me and buy a new tie, so I look this good. Boy, you were right. You said only the good ones die young. Never in my life did I look this good. Everyone, welcome to my funeral. Everyone I know better be wasted. You know I would pour one up, 'cause the way I lived it was amazing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All of my friends are in the room. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Party for me, I'd party too. You're all on my tab. Bartenders, pour out the whiskeys on me. And don't be so sad, 'cause I lived this good. We're all closer, now it's over. But it doesn't mean it's closure. I see you and I love you. I'll be watching out above you. Everyone, welcome to my funeral. Everyone I know better be wasted. You know I would pour one up, 'cause the way I lived it was amazing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All of my friends are in the room. Ooh, ooh. Party for me, I'd party too. Ooh, ooh. All of my friends are in the room. Ooh, ooh. Party for me, I'd party too. Everyone, welcome to my funeral. Everyone I know better be wasted. You know I would pour one up, 'cause the way I lived it was amazing. Welcome to my funeral. Everyone I know better be wasted. You know I would pour one up, 'cause the way I lived it was amazing. Welcome to my funeral. Everyone I know better be wasted. You know I would pour one up, 'cause the way I lived it was amazing. So welcome to my funeral. Welcome to my funeral.
Woo.
Yeah, I can't. I can't even. Oh, jeez.
Dude, emotions.
I
All the emotions.
yeah.
If
I
you don't
watch
feel
it,
that,
and
I don't know who you are.
yeah, you're just numb. What's his name? Chester Benningfield. You're just numb on Lincoln Park Field, right?
Chester Bennington, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah,
No,
and I mean, and I just like you say to me sometimes, like I can't appreciate it from a music standpoint. Like I can't appreciate as much as you from a dance standpoint because I'm not a dancer, but from like the music you can like from a music standpoint you can tell the emotions they're flowing out of them is hitting just as much as what the music is feeling. So like the music is bringing the emotion but the physical portion, and that's what I've always tried to explain that I love about the form of dance and how you break it down, is because with music it's uh the listener sharing the emotion, but you guys the dancers bring out the visual and physical emotion from a music piece,
well,
you
and
know. So
uh, I don't mean to cut you off.
no.
I think that is so exhilarating watching this piece. Is like there are
Yeah.
so many moments early on where it's like just subtle, and um I am such a fan of like isolated movement where it's just like like where it's like syncopated with the music, but it's like light.
Yeah.
Um but even him just standing on the suitcase and him watching the crew go from that side to that side, and then like
Hmm.
the dancing that they did after that, it wasn't like it's hard to explain. It wasn't like, you know, uh like dance 450. It was just like, hey, we're just gonna do really light movement here, but syncopated and like organic and emotional. The stuff that they do on the floor towards the end, where they like flutter their legs, I was like, every time I see it, I'm just like, oh
Yeah.
my god, it's like unreal, unreal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And like I said, when the whole thing started, uh I remember you did show that to me one time, but after seeing it a second time, I'm like, wow, there was like so many things that I probably missed the first time, and just seeing that for a second time, it's like it's very. I mean, again, I don't know like the cream of the crop for dance, but like I can tell how you feel like this is like cream of the crop, like type of like stuff that we're watching. Like this is like
the next
dance
time you
to
watch
you.
it,
This is
the
like
next time
yeah,
you watch it, like just think about the guy with the suitcase who walks,
yeah,
and then listen to the music and how he sets the suitcase down, folds it down, unfolds, and then how he flutters the blazer. Um, Come on, man! Like, there's so much that I can talk about with this because
yeah.
I've watched this like
Yeah, I'm always listening to lyrics. I'm always listening to lyrics because and again, that's something that I love about it. That watching your recitals and just being a part of that thing, like listening to the lyrics of music, and then realizing that you guys are mimicking the words through your bodies, and I'm like, that is the coolest stuff ever to be able to, like, again, and that's the physical and visual thing that you guys do, and I really like about dance that we are the ones saying it that you guys are hearing on the records, but you guys bring it out into the physical form. So like you're saying, like watch him open his briefcase, do the blazer thing, but like you got to listen to the lyrics because he's telling you what the lyrics are saying through his body, and that's the coolest stuff. That like that's probably the biggest thing I love about that style, or just dance in general, how they can do that.
so. Wow, cancel culture 101. I'm about to sell myself out real fast.
Ding ding ding.
Ding ding ding, and I'm I'm like, you know, I had a project 5 years ago where it was like I was literally catering the movement to the words, and someone tried to make, I don't want to say make fun. They were presenting a dig at me like, oh, you're doing this because like you're being manipulated by the lyric kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, what? You just do
Whoopsie.
just cause like whatever the
Whoopsie.
you want kind of thing. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
this
Like,
is driving my inspiration right in the moment. So you can do it or not. And let me find that timestamp.
that's like a song being in the key of E, and then one of the band members saying like, "Well, you're just manipulated by the key of the song. It's an E, but I'm gonna play the key of A." Like, no, it's not gonna sound the right way, you idiot. Keep in the same key of the song, and it's gonna make us all sound better. You know?
Right.
So, I mean, if you're just moving to just move, but you're not, as a dancer, you're not listening to the music, you're not going to portray it the same way as if you are, enriched or embodied into the song. Like, and the same thing with music. If you're not, listening and feeling the music, and if you're just up there strumming, singing, drumming, whatever you do, if you're just up there hitting the snare, doing all that, but if you're not feeling it, two different types of things. And again, that's something we could talk on another episode about.
Jeez,
is just like,
this is a whole other episode that we can talk about this right here, because literally.
So, so maybe next week we can get into more of that, because there's another thing that I wanted us to talk about, but we'll probably get to that next week. But yeah, it's just like, great thing what you just said. The fact that, like, oh, you're just limited by what the song is saying. Well, I mean, yeah, you're supposed to be, as a dancer, to be portraying what the music is saying through your body. If you're just worming it up there and you're just not really paying attention to the music, people are going to be like, what's he doing up there? But if you're mimicking what the lyrics are saying and portraying it through your body, that's, I think, what brings out the artist and creative of what you guys do. Same thing with music. If I'm just up there singing and playing, but if I'm not feeling it, people see that. But if I'm up there and I'm like playing like this is my last show ever, that after this gig I'm never playing again, and I am playing with emotion, feel, and like people vibe off of that, are like, oh, this guy's really into it, So again, two different spectrums, and I would love to get into that full, but we don't want to have like a 2-hour podcast tonight. So
yeah, we don't. But at the same time, I did just send you another video, and it's a dance. It's like hip hop. It's aggressive. It's not like super serious kind of thing. But musically speaking, I want you to watch it and you feel like, oh, everything is so syncopated. And when you watch it, it's like, oh,
whoopsie,
there's like a reason for why everything lands where it lands. And that's what I aspire to do, is like, I don't want to just make choreography a thing and just set it and be like, okay, do this. Yeah. So when you're ready, we should watch this. When you're ready.
Okay, let me get it up real quick. It's waiting for ad. Come on, Charles.
Charles?
I love his commercial with the young Charles. It is so funny. How many championships I'm gonna have? Don't worry. Don't tell me. I'll wait. He's like, you're gonna be waiting.
You're gonna be waiting.
He never won anything. So freaking funny.
Oh my god.
And he's so anticipated. Don't worry. How am I gonna get? Don't worry. I'll find out. Like, you're gonna be waiting.
Yeah, you're gonna be waiting.
All right. Let me put this in another tab here so I can do side by side.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ready when you are, brother.
Give our viewers the 3, 2, 1 F and go countdown.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Whoopsie. Can go. Oof. This is already going to be tight. In the back.
Bitch, sit down. Be humble. Sit down.
So unfair. So unfair.
Yeah.
All you marks sway you with the tough stuff. Till it's time to get bucked. A lot of talk, no move. See, that ain't how it's right. Sit packs, catch fade. Stay on the move, or catch strays. Fab on the go. Money get low. I ain't afraid of that. Cause if I made a meal one time, shit, there's no question I can make it back. That's on the game. Fire what up? Drunk laughing at the marks we cut. And how they ain't politics. But ain't nobody but they mama listen. That's on the game. It's hot out here. Seem like everybody getting shot out here. Ex-girl stalking my post. What you looking for? Shot out here? Get lost. They love my sauce. The way I say they love my talk. California reppin', Lord's my weapon. Never count my money before I count my blessings. It's hot out here. Girl, you thought we didn't know you was a bop out here? What? Giving boys times and enough plus to have haters run up in my house out here? Ooh, better watch yourself. Better watch yourself. Bro, I ain't playing. Better watch yourself. Better watch yourself. Ooh, better watch yourself. Better watch yourself. Bro, I ain't playing. Better watch yourself. Better watch yourself. Ooh. Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh. Ooh.
Jeez. That was sick.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things with like music and dance and movement that like I feel like you and I absolutely connect on, and it's like I needed to show you some of those things to
Yeah.
let you know, like,
Perfect
hey,
example.
come on, like how many
Like, you
moments
get-
when you watch that you were just like, oh my god, like it's so
yeah, I mean,
perfect.
the music is matching the dancer's matching the music. Perfect.
Yeah.
You know, just everything's on point. Like you said, they're like, you can't just be moving around to the music without feeling the groove. You just can't be playing an instrument and expecting people to get it. You gotta like feel the groove of what you're playing too.
Well, there has to be rhyme and reason to what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's
There's
why
a lot of people that play. There's a lot of people that play guitar, and I'm not saying I'm the best out there, but there's difference between, you know, playing a couple chords, but then playing a couple chords with feeling and emotion. You know, so and that takes a little bit of time too. But you know, again, same topic of what we've been talking about.
Well, it's like positioning purpose as to like why do you do what you're doing, kind of thing. And that's
Right.
why I like wanted to share those couple videos with you where I was like, you see how they're like literally syncopated and like they're so creative with the music on what they do. And I watched you a couple times and like without me throwing my headphones off, I saw you and I heard you go, oh, you were you literally were like, oh my god. And I was like, yeah, that's what we thrive to do. That's what we strive at you as
Just
a songwriter.
the little nuances, like you said, like the whole like like the little nuance things that like they do, like it just gets you to know that you're in tune and in sync with the music. So like the little things that you would, because you're listening to so many things, and then when some guy just goes with like the motion of that, to like just out of nowhere. Yeah. Again, and we're always trying to go back and forth with these things relating dance and music, but it's like, you know, when you're listening to a song and then all of a sudden it like just like flips to like a bridge, or like it's flips into like a different section that you weren't thinking, like, whoa, this is a big transition. So like little things like that in dance like kind of keeps the viewer interested, like, and I'm sure with a 6-minute dance piece there's things you always have to be keeping the viewer interested and keeping them wanting to watch. Same thing with music, like you're always trying to, like, if you have a 3 4-minute song, how can you keep the listener from skipping or pressing stop? Or so it's like same thing with dance. You got to find different ways every minute, every second to be giving, the ear candy and visuals to like keep people interested. That's the little nuance we say in, yeah. That's the little nuance they say in like the music production slang of like that you got to give them the ear candy. Like always like thinking like, okay, what's the next little thing that they want to hear? Like try to, either pan something to like hear them listening in their left ear, then something going in the right, something down the middle, whole big spectrum. And like saying like in the single that I have, like right before it gets into the last chorus, you hear like a reverse cymbal, like a and then it goes right into like the breakdown of like the voice, guitar, and little lead part, just all ambient, and then the whole band comes back in. So like a little piece of like something that changes and then brings you right back. So yeah, man, awesome, another awesome piece.
Listen, if you loved the conversation that Anthony and I had regarding like the dance routine that I shared with him, and just our interpretation of like music, dynamic, stuff like that, we have plenty more of that on our patreon.com /one set pod. We will have so much more of that on there if you would like to follow us on there.
Yeah. And we just found out that you can now start doing like a 7-day trial. So definitely take advantage of that. You guys can even trial run the top tier, which we'll be doing a watch along very soon, and that'll give you guys the opportunity to chat with us while watching a watch along with us. And because we've been just doing them just me and Jim, so it'll be fun to have an audience, like a live chat with us, to be able to watch along with us too. So we have a lot of cool things planned with the Patreon, and we've been giving everybody free access to the episodes a day early, and patrons will get the shout outs in the episodes. So a lot of good perks for you guys. Would love for you guys to check it out, and again, give you guys yourselves a 7-day free trial, and also pick up some merch.
Literally, I thought like only maybe 1, 2, 3 people were checking us out, and Anthony here was like, by the way, we have way more viewers than you even realize. And then I checked the viewership. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that's tuned in to us. And some of the episodes, like some of the Family Guy stuff we've done, some of the South Park stuff we've done, some of the House of the Dragon, especially. We would just love to hear from you, like what you would like us to like really zero in on, because we're here for you. We love that you're here with us. We love that you're a part of this with us. As long as you are here, we will be here. If that makes sense. Right, Ant?
I agree. You guys are what makes this continue to be fun outside of us, having a conversation with each other, being able to entertain you guys. And, we've had plenty of people come out to us that we wouldn't think twice who were listening to this, and they were giving us praise of like how awesome it is. And thank you guys for, entertaining us for it. So we, again, just like Jim said, we want to thank you guys for continuing to support us and, watching week after week after week. And again, we're trying to continue to build this up into something. And, we hope you guys can just continue to come for the ride. So you guys know where to find us. hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, like, subscribe on the YouTube channel. Everything is at One Set Pod. I was about to say Spoken Life Music. I've been saying Spoken Life Music all week. So
you're good,
so
man. You're good.
So that's at One Set Pod. Hit us up on the Gmail if you want to send us some personal notes, feedback, or if you just want to say hi in a private sense. That's onesetpod@gmail. We mentioned the Patreon. Go hit up the Patreon. And if you guys want to check out some merch, we have some merch up on our Big Cartel page. So hit that up. And yeah, so anything you want to say, Bud, before we get out of here?
Dude, honestly, this has been such a fun episode. And apologies because we were supposed to record last night. So thank you, Anthony, for being available here right now so that we can record this currently.
Yes.
But I just want to thank pardon me, like I was thanking you, I want to thank again our audience, everyone that has supported us. Like, I mean, I know our moms have been like super supportive, but just seeing that like we have 15, 30 views, 30, like 36 views, 90 views, 100, like,
yeah,
it's really, really cool. And if you are international and you're listening and you're tuning in, all the love to you. Thank you. Seriously.
yes.
And if you're national, obviously, I didn't mean that like, if you're local, you ain't.
Whoopsie. Yeah. That's a new T-shirt. If you ain't local, you ain't. Whoopsie.
If you're local, if you're Delco,
whoopsie.
Off, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, man.
This has been One Set. All the love to you.
I was gonna,
and we'll talk.
I was gonna say, sign us out, buddy.
Yeah, sure.